Watch this UGC ad. I made it entirely with AI, and I didn't write a single prompt.
Then I started one scoop of this every morning. Bloom greens, 38 ingredients. Just watch. One scoop, some water, that's it.
What surprised me wasn't the quality, it was how simple the workflow was. I basically described what I wanted like I was talking to a creative director, and it built the entire commercial for me. The hook, the scenes, the dialogue, everything. The character stayed consistent from the beginning to the end. Honestly, at some point I stopped calling it prompting because it didn't feel like prompting anymore. It felt more like vibe directing. But here's why I think this is different. Most AI video tools are getting really good at generating clips. You type a prompt and a few minutes later you get a 5 or a 10-second video, and sure, it looks impressive. But a clip isn't an ad. An ad needs a hook, a story, a payoff. It needs a character that stays consistent and a product that doesn't suddenly change halfway through. That's where things usually fall apart. If you've ever tried creating AI UGC ads, you probably know the workflow. One tool for images, another for videos, another for voice. Then you open Premiere and stitch everything together, fix the timing, add music, export it. But then you might notice that the character changed, the lighting changed, the product looks different. So you start all over again. You spend more time managing AI tools than actually creating an ad. That's why I wanted to see if OpenArt Director could solve this issue. Instead of generating random clips, it builds the entire commercial inside one single project. The character stays consistent, the product stays consistent, the dialogue, the music, the editing, everything happens in one place, and you are basically directing the whole commercial through one conversation. Let me show you how it works. So enough talking, let's build an ad. For this example, I'm creating a UGC ad for Bloom Nutrition Green Superfoods. So what I want is a creator style TikTok ad, someone talking naturally to the camera, holding the product, a few lifestyle shots, some product close-ups. Nothing complicated. So here's the dashboard. Inside OpenArt, the first thing I do is choose the UGC ad format. Now watch what happens. Instead of immediately generating the video, it starts asking me for some info to create the ad. First, I upload the Bloom product image. I add the product name and paste in a few selling points, and that's it. Next, it asks who will be featured in the ad. You can either import a character or describe your ideal customer. If you don't already have a buyer's persona, I'd actually recommend asking Claude to generate one first and then just paste it in here. For this example, I'm using one of the buyer's persona Claude generated for me for this brand. Rachel, she's 38 years old, health conscious, and was looking for something to help her with bloating. Next, it asks for the aspect ratio. I'll choose 9:16 since we're creating a TikTok ad. Then it asks for the render quality. I'll keep the recommended 1080p preset. For the video length, I'm going to set it to 30 seconds because that's what I really wanted to test. Can I generate an entire ad in one go instead of just another short clip? And this is the point where it stopped feeling like prompting to me. It genuinely felt like I was talking to a creative director. Now it starts writing the commercial, not just a paragraph, a complete storyboard. The hook, the dialogue, the scenes, the product shots, everything is planned before a single frame is generated. For this example, it built Rachel's story around the buyer's persona we provided. Someone who struggles with bloating and now talks naturally about how Bloom Greens became part of their daily routine. Normally I'd have to sit down and write that script myself. Here it happens automatically. Once I'm happy with the storyboard, I approve it, and now it starts preparing the production. It creates Rachel, it generates her voice, builds the environment, keeps the Bloom product consistent across every scene, plans the camera angles, and gets everything ready before generating the video. A few moments later, everything is ready for review. Here's Rachel, here's the kitchen she'll appear in, here's the Bloom product, and here's the voice she'll use throughout the ad. Everything looks good to me, so I'll just click looks good. Now it renders the final commercial, dialogue, voice, music, lip sync, editing. Everything happens inside one workflow. No exporting between different AI tools, no stitching clips together afterwards, just one project from the idea to the finished commercial. A few minutes later, here's the final Bloom Nutrition ad.
Okay, if you're bloated by 3 p.m. every day, stop scrolling. For years, I thought this was just me. Then I started one scoop of this every morning. Bloom greens, 38 ingredients. Just watch. One scoop, some water, that's it. It actually blends smooth and the mango's delicious. Couple weeks in, bloat down, no 3 p.m. crash. Try the mango, thank me later.
Honestly, this is what surprised me the most. The pacing feels like a real TikTok ad. Rachel stays consistent from the beginning to the end. The product looks right in every scene, and I didn't have to manually edit any of it together. One thing I also like is that you're not locked into the first result. Everything is editable. You can jump into the timeline, regenerate individual scenes, extend shots, or edit specific parts without recreating the whole commercial. That alone saves a lot of time. So if you're creating ads for Shopify stores, running an agency, or making content for your own products, being able to go from an idea to a finished commercial in just a few minutes is a huge advantage. Because with this method, you're no longer piecing together random clips, you're building an actual ad. So at the beginning of this video, I showed you the finished commercial. Now you've seen exactly how it was made. No giant prompts, no jumping between 5 different AI tools, just one conversation from idea to finished ad. If you want to try OpenArt Director yourself, you'll find the link in the description below. I really think this is the direction AI video is heading. Instead of writing better prompts, we're starting to direct the entire creative process through conversation. And if you want to see how to pull off the same kind of thing for static ads, here's a video you may want to see. Click it and I'll see you there.